Mars 02.
Yeah, and Mars has been just absolutely killing it. So whoever moves on is going to have a tall order to take him down. But looks like we're off here. LarviStar is going right small only strats. It's all coming back to me now that LarviStar is big on these small only strats, which is excellent to see. And then Thelx is powering right up right away, probably going for big fire strats primarily then.
What you're going to see happen is LarviStar is going to have an early lead, but you're going to see that lead diminish from time to time when we get to the Bowser levels, provided that LarviStar doesn't take any unfortunate deaths and that Thelx doesn't lose his power-up.
Right. If they both play optimally, you'll see that optimal strats favors Big Mario in that when you hit the axe at the end of a castle level, you have to wait. If you're small, you have to wait for the end, or for the bridge to collapse, for Bowser to fall down, and then the fanfare starts. But if Bowser is already dead to fireballs once you touch the axe, the fanfare immediately starts. And so that's why that is, in the case of optimal, that is the fastest way to go. However, LarviStar is very, very practiced and very good at at just small only strats, and so in a race setting, that is preferable for him, since it means that he will probably make less mistakes if he's playing in the most comfortable setting for himself.
That's an optimal 1-3 there for LarviStar, and optimal for Thelx, both having 260. So LarviStar should keep that 4-second lead going into 1-4.
Yeah. All right, and we'll see what kind of Bowser patterns they get here. So there's LarviStar charging past the past the power-up block there, and then we'll see how they handle the fire bars here. So both threw fire bars very well. LarviStar did not have to slow down at all on the Bowser. Thelx also gets a very good timer. So LarviStar got a 262 on the timer at the end, and Thelx only took 1 Mario second to take down that Bowser. So that was a really optimal, really good Bowser kill for Thelx, and that'll tighten the gap between the two just a little bit here right away.
And down to about a 2.5-second lead now for LarviStar going into 2-1.
All right, and right away we're going to start to see a big difference in the small versus fire strats, because Thelx is able to jump up and just shoot fire at piranha plants, while LarviStar is going to take some different routes through levels in order to avoid having to do pipe jumps whenever possible, and just to be able to get past pipes without getting hit by those plants.
And Thelx gained some more time. It was 3:45 on the clock versus LarviStar's 3:42. It's now about a 1-second race.
All right, and so water sections are very interesting because you can have firepower and shoot, but there are some players who will prefer to do a duck swim even if they have firepower, just because the smaller hitbox generally allows you to swim through a level without needing to slow down at all, because that small, tiny little hitbox is just easy enough to navigate through. And we did see Thelx have to slow down a little bit on the choke point there in that level, kind of giving LarviStar a little bit more time there.
Having a little bit of a problem there on the coral, and yeah, LarviStar is going to build on that lead. 3:10 versus a 3:05 on the clock.
What's interesting about that 3:05 is that Thelx actually could have gotten a 3:06, but he intentionally slowed down for a second on the stairs, because if you get a 6 as the last digit of your timer, you actually have to then waste 3.5 seconds watching fireworks play out. So intentional slowdown there. Thelx recognized that he was going to get the 6 and knew to slow down on the stairs. Still get an optimal flagpole grab, but down to the 5 to save that time.
And that's an optimal 2-3 for LarviStar and Thelx. 2:40 on the clock. So LarviStar will gain, or will keep that roughly 3-second lead going into 2-4.
Yeah, and here we go. The castle's super exciting for watching small strats versus big. So we see the elevator trick here that LarviStar does, and Thelx has to duck jump on it. So that's just one of the parts, again, where having the smaller hitbox really helps you. Not that the elevator trick is pretty tough, just the way that you have to make that duck jump. But as we see, because of that victory fanfare there, these two are almost tied now because of the time save from fire killing Bowser.
That is correct. It's now a 1 second lead for LarviStar going into the third world with the introduction of the Hammer Brothers.
Yeah. So here's these guys. And yeah, just really interesting to see the different routes through the level at the same time. Thelx having to do a lot of duck jumps here and there. Ooh, and saved a little bit of time. Thelx actually took the lead on that level, just a couple Mario seconds faster.
Yes, he did, because LarviStar got caught up at the final staircase, and Thelx was able to sneak on by and take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, and you know, that might have actually just been a safe strat for LarviStar. I'm not absolutely sure, but that might have just been a safer stair climb for the small strats.
Right, to avoid the fireworks.
Mm-hmm. All right. Can't help but notice, oh, Thelx did not do the goofy despawn and instead jumped and sniped the last Goomba with a fireball in order to make the stair climbing easier. That was really interesting to see. And wow, they're, yeah, exactly tied now. So, so Thelx slowed down a little bit in that level, or maybe they, maybe their frame rules lined up and I didn't notice?
Could be. They both get there at 260, and yeah, they are pretty much a dead heat going into 3-4 Castle.
Yeah, this is super exciting because, yeah, with the small stars for LarviStar, I mean, he's playing perfectly right now and basically sort of just hoping for the big hitbox of Thelx to make a mistake at some point, but that has not happened yet. Thelx is playing excellently. So with both players playing pretty much as well as possible here, we see, oh, see, that was a perfect example. They both touched the axe at the exact same time, but as you can see, LarviStar had to watch the animation there.
Yeah, and LarviStar had to slow down just a little bit so that he wouldn't run into Bowser's head from that platform. So yeah, Thelx will recapture the lead by a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really exciting though that the axe touch was at just the same time. All right, so then 4 here, or 4-1 is generally an easier level, and oh, LarviStar takes the bottom route on that part. That's interesting. I like it. I've thought about doing that for swag, duck jumping under it.
Yep, that's an optimal 4-1 for both.
And now that we're seeing 4-2 here, I wonder if Thelx is going to go bottom route. I think LarviStar will go top route since he's small, but it's always fun to see what runners prefer here. And Thelx going bottom. So we see Thelx on the bottom, making lots of precision fireball shots here to get through as quickly as possible. LarviStar also going very fast across the top in a safer way, but that dismount at the end is the really tricky part of top strats. Thelx makes it through optimally, as well as LarviStar. 3:44 is what you want to see on the timer there.
Beautiful 4-2 by both of our runners here going into 4-3. So Thelx will continue to keep that roughly 2-second lead going into 4-3.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting to see what happens next, because after this level is really when things start to heat up. I mean, we like to say World 5, but I think that 4-4 is a little bit of a sleeper as far as how tricky it is. What I mean to say is it's harder than a lot of people give it credit for, I think. The Bowser at the end can be super nasty.
Both had 2:61 left on the clock, which means we are treated to a single firework on each side.
Yes, and we mentioned fireworks before as being something that you have to wait for and waste time, but one firework actually does not waste any time. Alright, here we see Thelx had to duck under one of the fire bars, which LarviStar does not have to do. Stops for a pretty quick Bowser kill there. LarviStar makes it through very well, very quickly as well. Good Bowser pattern for him.
Absolutely. So take a look at the time here. It's going to still be about a 2.25 second lead going into World 5. But yeah, as you mentioned, World 5 is where things start to get tougher. I mean, 5-2, you have these Hammer Brothers that are on stairs. That is no fun.
Yeah, and 5-2 also has the very infamous cannon at the very start that each player has to kind of develop a strategy for how they're going to deal with. So Thelx, LarviStar had a little bit of a bump there. That's kind of the first thing I've seen so far that's been a minor mistake, I would say, but not very much at all. That probably only cost about 1 Mario second. Thelx just goes for the cannon, it looks like, does not get shot. We'll see how LarviStar handles it. Also, very well. Ooh, nice hammer kill there on the stairs, as you've mentioned.
Yep, and another nice hammer kill on the coin block there for LarviStar, but he's going to find himself about 4 seconds back right now. Let's take a look at the times. There's Thelx at a 3:45.
Yep.
LarviStar getting 3:47.
Yeah, Thelx had to slow down to not to avoid the 6 due to an extra bump that he took in the level. So that's why he kind of slowly walked up to the flagpole there, while LarviStar managed to get the 7.
Shaved about a second, so now it's a 3-second lead going into 5-3. It's 1-3 with shorter platforms and the constant firing of bullet bills.
Wow, and oh my gosh, they are both getting really rough bullet bill patterns now. I kind of can't believe that Thelx got through that without getting hit. Yeah, so Thelx had to slow down a little bit in that level and basically tie him back up. It looks like he's still a few frame rules ahead here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's still a couple frame rules ahead, but he had to slow down a lot to avoid getting hit by any bullet bills there. But it was very good that he did, because he managed to avoid all of those really terrible bullet bills and made it into 5-4 without taking a hit. Here, weird Potaboo there, so he had to slow down a little bit as well. But the fire kill on Bowser still allowed it to remain tied up. And now he gets to get through 6-1 without having to stop and collect these familiar power-ups.
How cool is that, Dash Retro? We are neck and neck going into World 6. Hold on to your hats, folks. This could be a photo finish.
Yeah, like at the start of every world so far, they've been absolutely tied. This has been crazy. Whether they're touching the axe at the same time or the fanfare is lining them up, they've just been right close to each other. This is crazy.
And they both get the disappearing flag as well.
Oh, yeah. Always nice to see that guy. All right, and into 6-2. This is a very interesting level as far as fire versus small. Whoa, LarviStar going for a pipe jump there. Got held up a little bit after making the pipe jump successfully. But yeah, we see Thelx is going to do a lot of jumping with precision fire shots to shoot these pipes plants out of the pipes and then land on them, while LarviStar has to take a different route to avoid doing as many dangerous jumps as possible.
No,
ooh, and
3 fireworks.
Yep, so the 3 on the timer here is going to give LarviStar 3 fireworks. That saves about exactly 1 second here. So that widens this gap just a little bit, but we will see what the coming levels do.
Oh no! Thelx falls down in 6-3, and LarviStar is back in the lead now, but LarviStar falls as well!
I think I know exactly what happened to Thelx there also. He dropped off a ledge and landed on kind of a weird bullet bill. So I have a bit of a guess that he may have tried to jump too early. So he jumped before he landed from the bullet bill bounce and then ran off the ledge. LarviStar, yeah, took a second death there, and we also saw the panic pause for a moment as well going into the pit. LarviStar paused the game for just a moment to kind of take just a second, right, and then get back into it. We've seen it one too many times from multiple runners.
Well, you just hate to see it, folks.
Ooh, LarviStar going very quickly through the intro to 6-4 there. Thelx maintains the large power-up state, getting under the Bowser. LarviStar, ooh, kind of a bad Bowser. LarviStar, that was very, very good read on that Bowser, where that was very close. Could have been one of those unfortunate Bowser hits where you... Ooh!
Oh no, Thelx losing that power up, and LarviStar is now going to take the lead.
So Thelx was having a lot of trouble grabbing that flower. The only way to grab that flower is to do a precise D-pad movement in order.
The Hammer Brothers trolling LarviStar, and Thelx recaptures the lead. Boy, this back and forth affair continues late.
Yeah. World 7 is really, really going crazy here. But okay, LarviStar is getting back into the rhythm, does not get the 3 on the timer, and is going to stay right behind. Oh my gosh, yeah. So Thelx has a bit of a healthy lead now, but he does still need to stop for firepower, which he has to do in 7-3, which means he first has to get through 7-2 big without taking any damage. He has initiated duck swim though.
After all of that, it was a 9-second lead for Thelx going into 7-1. Going into 7-2, it's now 7. Everyone loses it.
He lost the duck swim, and then he had to reinitiate duck swim in the choke point, which caused him to fly up into the blooper and lose his power up there. That is so brutal.
It certainly is, and that means he will not have Fire Mario going into 7-4. There's only one power-up left. No power-ups in 7-4. Bad pattern there for LarviStar.
Yeah. So Thelx is taking a moment here. I'm not sure what he was waiting for there, but he had to so right, like you said, he has to do 8-1 without firepower now.
And LarviStar now takes the lead. I don't know what happened on that pause, maybe a controller issue, something, but it's about a half-second lead for LarviStar going into 7-3, and this back-and-forth affair continuing, this seesaw battle late. Wow.
Yeah, I'm really worried to see these Koopa jumps, with them being small. Ooh, Thelx cutting it close there. But there we go. All right. So he's making it through big, but yes, this does mean that he has to tackle 8-1 without firepower, and we'll see how his non-fire World 8 strats are.
Getting the power up at 8-2 isn't necessarily the easiest thing in the world either.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always very worried about the just the pipe jump situation in 8-1. But all right, so 7-4, sometimes a little bit of a nice breather before World 8 starts, because World 7 is absolutely crazy, but 7-4 is at least a little bit of a nicer castle. Nice slide under Bowser there. Yeah,
slides under the tag. He's safe at the plate.
All right, and here we are into World 8. These two are still so close to each other.
It's barely a second lead. Oh no, what happened to LarviStar?
So I noticed LarviStar was not jumping. I think he's taking a safety game over here.
That was intentional.
Yes.
Yep, that was an intentional.
So LarviStar went to refill lives there. He doesn't want to die in like something like 8-2 or 8-3 and have to go all the way back to 8-1. So that was an intentional death to continue and get his 3 lives back, meaning it's a bit of a gamble because now Thelx needs to give LarviStar the lead back in order for him to win. But, you know, if let's say that happens and then LarviStar takes a death, LarviStar avoids a game over, possibly giving the lead back.
But it's an optimal 8-1 there for Thelx with 200 left on the clock.
Wow, 200. That's crazy.
LarviStar
that
197.
200 is crazy with big. All right, now we'll
lead again for Thelx.
Oh, and that power-up grab was super optimal for Thelx. Wow.
Oh, that was an amazing grab there from Thelx. Well played. All
right, so now we see... So he made it through the super tough parts. LarviStar doing BBBB here. We'll see the high Koopa here. Nice. So very good BBBB from LarviStar there to finish it up small. And now 8-3 is, I feel like I mean, I don't want to jinx anybody, but I feel like 8-3 might be the scariest level for LarviStar here, since Thelx is going in with firepower, so he's able to fire kill these Hammer Bros, while LarviStar has to drop kick them or jump over them or what have you. Luckily, he is very experienced and very practiced at doing this, so let's see it happen. Yes! Gets through the 4 Hammer Bros. The bump at the end to avoid the 3 on the timer, and we are going into 8-4. All right, Thelx coming in. Gets past the Goomba at the start. Into the first pipe. LarviStar jumping over this first thing. No Goomba hit there. Thelx with the wall jump. Gets it. Now we see LarviStar's wall jump as we see Thelx's turnaround. Good turnaround for Thelx. Good wall jump for LarviStar. How is Thelx going to handle? He does duck swim for the for this part. Oh my gosh. LarviStar's turnaround was so optimal that I thought that he might have looped. And here's Thelx into the final room. Right under Bowser, straight into the axe. GG to Thelx. Excellent finish at the end there. LarviStar has to wait a moment on Bowser, gets the 2018. Only 9 seconds apart for these two. Excellent first race there. So remember, that is only the first race out of 3. So Thelx is up 1 race here. Don't go anywhere because this is a best of 3, and we are going to be restarting in just a moment here to see round 2. But wow, that was such a good race. The two of them were just absolutely neck and neck for the first several worlds. And then, oh my gosh, World 7 was just absolutely nuts back and forth like I've never seen. Ending up with Thelx with a 9-second lead at the end there. Both of them in 8-4 at the same time, but about a room apart. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, funny thing is that we started World 7, Thelx had a 9-second lead, and it turns out that was the margin of difference.
Yeah, and I got really worried for Thelx in 7-1 when he went for that flower, and not only spent several seconds not collecting it, but then got shot by a bullet bill because of it. I thought that he might have had the loss right there, but still managed to pull it through. All right. What's your prediction, Lowe's? Or Laws? Shoot. I'll just call you Cards. I forgot.
There you got it right the second time. That's a tough one. Boy, anybody could have won game number 1 right there. I would like to see this go to a game number 3, but anything is possible.
Right. All right, so we are just waiting a minute here to get the logistics through of beginning a rematch within SRL here. Ooh, boy. And I suppose perhaps we can take this little moment that we have between these races too. Also, if you guys don't know, we should congratulate GT Ace on a new world record of this category. I don't know if you guys heard or saw, but we actually have a new Warpless Super Mario Bros. World record that just happened last night or sometime yesterday that GT Ace did. So, yeah, congrats to him.
That's right, Dash Retro, and his time was 18 minutes and 59.44 seconds. A new world record for the Warpless category. Congratulations.
Right. All right, sounds like a new race room is being created. And yeah, from what I understand, that world record came after a lot of hardship, as usual, where 8-4 is just such a crazy level with all these different tricks, and the fact that 8-4 is not a frame rule level, and it's down to the frame. It's just, you gotta wall jump, you gotta optimally do the turnaround. It's just, and then your Bowser pattern then has to be good. It's just such a nerve-wracking level. Okay, here we go. I'm seeing the second SRL room getting opened, so we should be into it very soon.
Yep, that's right, Dash Retro. It's game number 2 between LarviStar and Thelx. LarviStar's got to win this one to force a third game, or it's going to be Thelx moving on to the round of 16.
All right, we've readied up, and our run should be starting in about 15 seconds here. These Marios are ready to go. Did I lie to you guys? Would I lie to you guys? Not intentionally. Ah, there we are. And we are off. All right, round 2 begins. Thelx got a little bit of a weird power-up grab, which looks really slow, but I don't know. In my experience, oh, and LarviStar had a weird underground section there. I was going to say, in my experience, that power-up grab that Thelx did there is a lot less slow than it looks.
Ooh, and he got 6 on the fireworks. Oh!
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a rough start for LarviStar here. Thelx slowed down a tiny bit, but yeah, I'm hoping that that there isn't too much nerves here. I've personally never actually done a 2 out of 3 race before, and I can only imagine how much more nervous you are the second time than the first.
You got to believe that nerves would be a factor. Thelx already out of the gates with a 1 second lead.
Yep, but here we see having to stop for the power-up grab, though, brought LarviStar just a tiny bit back in the lead here. But man, Thelx's firepower grab was really, really sick at the start.
Yep, 345 flag grab for each, and it's a very slim lead now for LarviStar going into 1-3.
Yeah, this may even be the same frame rule, but we'll have to see now. Looks like, yep, about a frame rule lead for LarviStar. And just in case there is anyone who isn't sure, when we say frame rule, we mean an increment of 21 frames, which is significant in this game for very weird reasons. That's the short version.
All right, an optimal 1-3 for both. 260 on the clock going into 1-4. This is where Thelx will have the chance to recapture the lead with a nice Bowser kill.
Yeah, so that's what we'll see here. Right, because LarviStar's lead right now is like, well, we just said it. Less than a second. So we'll see what their Bowsers look like here. Thelx with the opening shots as he approaches. Nice. So just like last time, LarviStar gets a super fast jump over Bowser, 262 on the timer. Thelx got a wonderful Bowser kill, slid under the Bowser, shot him from behind, as you do when you get a forward jumping Bowser, and ended it with 261 on the clock.
Yep, Thelx with a 2-second lead going into 2-1. Hey, nice hit on the vine block there. I like it.
Yeah. All about swag. Each swag point that they get takes a second off their time at the end, right?
Oh, that would be cool. I mean, I know Mitch Flower Power did something like that for the Super Mario Brothers 3 tournament that he had a while back.
All right, so Thelx indeed gets a little bit of a lead there. I don't know if we mentioned from the fire kill on Bowser, even though LarviStar touched the axe first, that fire kill put Thelx just a little bit in the lead here. And here we go, entering the first water stage. So last time, this was very favorable for LarviStar, getting through without having to slow down at all, while Thelx had to slow down on the choke point. However, right there, Thelx got through the choke point, no issues at all.
And we'll see if the coral reef at the end gives our runners problems, or if they can get through it cleanly. But right now...
Ooh, Thelx just went under the Reef of Grief. Oh, but then that ended up slowing him down just a little bit at the end there. Not quite so much as last time, so last time he was going to get 306, had to wait for 305. This time improved it just a little bit with the 307. And then LarviStar gets through 2 Mario seconds faster with the 309 on the clock.
Alright, so here we go. 2-3 with the flying cheeps. As long as you keep on moving the way you keep on moving, you're going to have the optimal 2-3.
Yeah. So right. This is a level where you just run all the way through. However, LarviStar turn around to give that cheap a little smooch on the way by. But just like I was going to say, these cheeps sometimes can just be so very... I mean, sometimes they can come down on top of you, and you need to... do very optimal jumps or duck jumps, or even sometimes the swag jumps where you bop a Koopa that comes down on the top of you, just depending on how they decide to jump.
It's roughly a 2.5-second lead going into 2-4. We get the fire kill on Bowser. We will see the Koopa shell. Boom, 260 on the clock, 263 for LarviStar, nice 2-4 for both.
Yeah. Good Bowser kill for Thelx, good Bowser avoidance for LarviStar. These two are back in the game. They both had a interesting start on 1-1 there, but yeah, ever since then they've both been playing very, very well.
About a 3.5-second lead for Thelx going into 3-1.
Nice Hammer Bro avoidance from LarviStar there.
That'll be a 347 for Thelx. LarviStar slowed down enough, and yep, 344, avoiding the 6 fireworks.
Yeah, and also avoiding the Koopas on the stairs, which can be a nightmare. Whether you're fire killing the Koopas and it takes super precision shots, or you're small and you have to jump over them without hitting their hitboxes.
Ooh! LarviStar shorting that jump on the Koopa, and that's going to send him back to the start, further increasing Thelx's lead.
Yeah. Unfortunate early death there for LarviStar. Thelx that time did not do the Goomba shot for the stair climb at the end.
Still got a 245. Oh! In between the 2 Koopa shells! Oh,
Yeah!
I hate to see it!
That is the most brutal thing. The eye of the Koopa, essentially. When there is a row of 3 Koopas, you can jump onto one of them and then get bounced up in such a way where you still hit the one that is behind them. And it is just... it's one of the worst feeling things to happen in this game. Almost as bad as when you despawn the second platform in 5-3.
Now LarviStar only has 1 life left. Thelx now into 3-4 after an optimal 3-3. Thelx looking to get the Beetle Shell here, and nice kill, and a 260 on the clock for LarviStar. He's going to 3-4.
Yes. And yeah, Cartman saying that in chat, it happens if you're too far to the right when you hit the first enemy. I believe that is correct. And then it probably also has to do with the 50-50 coin toss hit detection in this game. Where if you guys don't know, so the hit detection for when you bop enemies in this game actually only fires every other frame for some reason. And so if you jump on an enemy the same exact way every time, it's 50-50 whether it behaves the same way each time. Generally, though, if you're far enough away to the left, you won't have the problem regardless. I'm just saying that the way that LarviStar did it, it was possible that there, may have been a chance that wouldn't have happened anyway.
It looked like Thelx was trying to get the flagpole glitch on 4-1, but he didn't get it.
Yeah, 4-1 is one of the levels where the setup for it is more possible in Warpless, let's say. All right. Oh, Thelx kind of did a little weird on his bottom strat there, but he was able to recognize it and do a pipe jump over the plant. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, beautiful. Man.
That's going to be a great 4-2, but it's going to have 3:42 on the clock, avoiding the 3 fireworks.
Yeah. Right, because an optimal 4-2 is 3:44 on the clock, which means if you slow down just a tiny bit, then you end up having to slow down an additional Mario second to avoid a 3 on the timer. Which there's a lot of levels that are like that. It's part of the reason where, it seems to happen all the time in this game, where if you have trouble with a level, then you get fireworks at the end, and it's just because of how many levels end, 1 second above the firework time.
LarviStar did get a perfect 4-2 with the 3:44 on the clock, and a perfect 4-3 for Thelx. He's going to 4-4.
And it's going to be interesting to see how LarviStar handles the life situation right now. He does have 92 coins, so I don't fully anticipate an intentional game over here, since he'll be back up to 2 Marios in just 2 more coins. Thelx with a pretty good Bowser kill there, having to shoot him from the front, then run under him, finish him from behind, and then LarviStar coming into 4-4 now. All right, under the fire bar. Excellent work from LarviStar on the Bowser approach there.
Great jump there to not hit his head, and moving on to 5-1. Thelx just completed it with 2:47.
Yeah, so now things really heat up for Thelx, where so we do actually see the intentional game over from LarviStar at the start of 5-1 here. So all right, he wanted. I can't
fault him, because the next.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
5-2.
Yeah. Yep, that is very true. And this level has Hammer Bros in it, so he may have gotten, the 20 seconds into this level that it takes, and then had trouble with, oh, wait a second. There are Hammer Bros in 5-1, right? No, there's not. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me.
Thelx did lose his power, but does get his Fire Flower back, since there are 3 power-ups to be found in 5-2.
Yeah. And right, as I was starting to say, is that just if Thelx is going to give LarviStar the opportunity that he needs, now that we're in World 5 is going to be when that is much more likely to happen. So Thelx, Thelx had he had tremendously,
wow.
Yeah. He had tremendously bad bullet bills the first run. This run, I'm actually surprised that he stepped to that bullet bill so confidently, being that from what happened on the last race. But yeah, so what happened there, if you don't know, is basically in this game, how the game decides whether or not you bop an enemy is just whether or not Mario is moving downward. It doesn't matter if you actually hit the top of it. The game just cares if you're going down. So you can take a bullet bill.
Those were some gnarly bullet bills, and LarviStar somehow survived.
Yeah, just like LarviStar did at the end there. If you take a bullet bill right in the face, but you're moving downward, you win the exchange. And so Thelx saw that bullet bill and just ran straight off the platform, causing him to drop and defeat the bullet bill. What's really tricky about that, though, is that then he bounced and landed on that tiny platform and had to quickly jump off of it. All right, good 5-4 for LarviStar here. Excellent. And Thelx is taking his firepower into 6-1, not having to slow down to power back up once again, so that's excellent.
He'll take his firework, and of course the flag disappears. Now, you tend to see that more in 6-1 than you do in 8-3. You actually can do that trick in 8-3 as well.
Yeah. Does it depend on if you scroll Mario, or?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right, so Thelx making short work of 6-2 here. Really, really fun level to watch, just because of all the precision fireball shooting to hit these piranha plants. Then there's also an intentional slowdown in this level somewhere as well, as we see Thelx do there, since optimally this level ends in a 3. So yeah, the optimal slowdown avoids those fireworks as well. So here we see LarviStar handle it small now. Also a pleasure to see, because of the way that you have to so carefully navigate around these plants.
So here we are, 6-3. This is where the race took a lot of lopsided turns in game number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, this was where Thelx took a death, LarviStar took 2 deaths.
Thelx losing his fire suit and will not get it back for the Bowser fight in 6-4.
LarviStar just got a 6 on the timer for 6-2 also, so that wastes a few seconds.
Oh, that is a shame there. Could have gained some valuable seconds on Thelx, but instead Thelx into 6-4. 1 stage lead right now. He's looking pretty comfortable as he grabs this mushroom.
Ooh, he had to wait for the fire bar there, though, so that actually caused that power-up to take just a little bit longer than it needed to. So
he gives it right back.
Yeah, so if LarviStar keeps playing optimally here, never mind the 6 on the timer last level, if he keeps going optimally now, he has a chance to cover a lot of ground with Thelx having to take power-ups again. Not necessarily an entire level's worth, but it is something to close the gap just a little bit.
It's 13:59 on transition for Thelx. So we'll see what kind of lead LarviStar or Thelx is going to have on LarviStar as this time he grabs the mushroom successfully to start 7-1.
Yes, and almost got shot by a bullet bill there, but narrowly avoided it. It's so scary when you get dropped into that gauntlet of cannons there at the start. Ooh, but the Hammer Bros do not let him through.
14-28. It's a 29-second lead, and that's going to be closing a bit.
Yeah. So Thelx had to grab that very weird power-up at the end of 7-1 there. One of the most difficult power-ups in the game to grab fast. LarviStar makes short work of the first Hammer Bros here. We'll see how he handles the second. He also
got a bad pattern.
He got the same pattern that Thelx did, but he went high on it. Thelx was able to take damage and get through it. But LarviStar had to take a death instead. This time they were more favorable, though.
Yep, and LarviStar will get through 7-1, on to 7-2 now. This is where Thelx had problems in game number 1, the crouching swim, but this time he gets through.
Yeah. And so we'll see through the rest of the level, the Reef of Grief at the end and all that, and LarviStar making his way into 7-2 here as well. Okay, pretty good cheaps for Thelx here. He gets right over the reef. No blooper at the end. That was an excellent 7-2. 316 going into the pipe, making for a 310 on the flagpole. That is an optimal 7-2. So no time is given back to LarviStar by Thelx on that level.
Very nicely done there. Well, again, we'll look at the times again. 15:44 going into 7-3. Thelx can still get his fire flower here.
Yeah, and that'll be very important for him to bring that into 8-1 and be able to...
Bad blooper pattern for LarviStar.
Yep, so LarviStar now has to slow down a little bit on this staircase as well to avoid getting a 6 on the timer, which he does. All right, and Thelx is powered back up. Getting into 7-4 here.
It's about a 30-second lead, though, for Thelx going into 7-4. course, 7-4 is one of the 2 castles that has a maze. Actually, 3 of them if you count World 8, I suppose. It's more of a pipe maze than anything. But you have to go a certain route, otherwise you have to do that segment all over again.
Yeah, and that wastes so much more time than it sounds. I mean, you basically have to do the level twice.
Nice fire kill there, and there goes the final fake Bowser with the Hammer Bro. He's on to World 8.
All right, LarviStar makes it through the maze, and now, so unlike last time, so Thelx was actually able to get an optimal 8-1 without firepower last time, which is insane to do in a race. Now he's going after 8-1 with firepower, so it's going to be a little bit easier than last time for him. He does this Koopa spawn manipulation there. Lots of swag shots here on these Koopas and Goombas. And making it through just fine here. LarviStar making it into 8-1, going for the small strats.
And another optimal 8-1 for Thelx as Big Mario. That's very impressive.
Yeah. All right. So, those are... I like the Koopa stomps that LarviStar does there before the star. All right. So we see Thelx making short work of 8-2. Right here coming up for Thelx is one of the most difficult things, and it looks like he actually does BBBB also. I didn't notice that last time. But yeah, beautiful BBBB from him to get the high Koopa on the stairs and make it through safely and quickly.
For those who may be new to the Super Mario Bros. Speedrun, what does BBBB stand for?
I don't remember, but I will tell you when LarviStar does it. I don't remember what the actual words are. But here it comes. LarviStar is going to brush against this pipe, brush against that pipe, bounce off that cannon, and boing off that Koopa. It's something to that effect. Oh, he's going for Bullet Bill Glitch.
And Thelx loses his fire suit going into Bowser's castle, but does get the swag flag disappearance of 8-3. But this could maybe give LarviStar a glimmer of hope.
Yeah. Thelx, right, going into 8-4 small. Very, very costly level to make any mistakes in here. So LarviStar is just behind in 8-3. Oh, gets a weird Hammer Bro pattern and decides to take the bottom route for safety. Whoa, that was a narrow hammer avoidance there for LarviStar.
Nice,
makes it through the rest of them.
Very
so there
good.
we go. LarviStar is in position to take the lead if Thelx makes a mistake.
Well, you never know what could happen here. He's in the underwater area. He just has to get through the final gauntlet with that Hammer Brother, the Podobo, and Bowser himself. And if he can do that, he's moving on to the round of 16. He's waiting for it.
Oh, yep. Takes the safe strat on the Podoboo there at the end.
He's
Gets
there.
under Bowser. Hits the axe with a 1954. Beautiful sub 20 time there. And LarviStar now on the turnaround. Once again, LarviStar's turnaround is sick. Like, it's so... Both times it was so optimal that I was worried that he looped it. And making it back through the water section here. Onto the Hammer Bro, under the Podoboo. Also has to wait for Bowser. That is... Yeah. Whoa, that is one of the worst Bowser patterns you can get. And there we go. LarviStar makes it through with a 20-30 on the timer. Excellent run to watch.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Thelx. Moving on to the round of 16. Marzo 2 will be his next opponent.
All right. Sounds good. And I see Thelx in the ready to come in for an interview. And there he is. So I have Thelx here in the commentary booth with us. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about the races.
Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, so you came out with a 2-0 victory. It did look like, at least, I mean, the second race you came out with the sub 20 time where there were a couple power downs. The first race you had a little bit more trouble with. How were you feeling about that?
Yeah, for both of the races, like the first half of the game was really good, but I messed up in the second half, so I'm gonna need to practice that. But like, yeah, I don't know. Also in
So,
7-2. Sorry, what?
oh yeah, go on 7-2.
First race, my dad came in, so that's why I stopped.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay, yeah. We were kind of wondering in chat there.
Yeah.
So I guess more specifically, what did you have like a specific plan going into game 2?
Not really. I just wanted to try to do the same thing I did the first race, except just a better second half, I guess, which I didn't really do, but I guess it was still decent.
Yeah, it was definitely better. So yeah,
Yeah.
excellent to see. And yeah, those that early World 7, the power ups, seem to just be a
Yeah.
super tricky thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so were you by the way, do you watch the restream or do you know where LarviStar is during the race?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that just since that first race was just absolutely insane in that latter half with you two switching the lead so often, and we were kind of freaking out on commentary. But then the second race, you kind of maintained the lead a little bit more solidly. So very, very well done there. It was a pleasure to watch. And so that means that you're going to be moving on in the bracket to face Mars next. That was it, right, Laws?
Is absolutely correct.
So what is your game plan going into a battle with the nearly unstoppable Mars, at least as it's seen so far in the tournament?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to play like perfectly to beat him. So I don't know. I'd
Well.
be surprised if I did. But yeah.
Well, it should be fun to watch, and hey, practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for racing. It was a pleasure. Thanks to LarviStar as well for running the race. It was a pleasure for all of us to watch. And speaking of watching, yeah, thanks to you guys as well for watching.
By the way, don't go away, because coming up next, right here on Speed Gaming, in about 10 minutes, a link to the past spoiler log race between Ninbon and Revenant. So stick around. We're going to have some more excitement here on Speed Gaming. For my partner, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. He's Dash Retro. Have yourselves a great evening, and we will see you the next time on the Super Mario Brothers Warpless tournament.
Bye-bye.